Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
Welcome to Movie Memory Machine 5-4, the miniseries that pulls 5 films thematically related to this week's movie, and boy have I got a selection for you this week. I am your host, Landen Solano, joined always by my co-host, Truman Caps. Truman, it's good to see you.
Landon, it's bueno to be seen, or I think mirando? No, that's seeing. I don't know my conjugations. The green owl is gonna be mad. I love the Mexican. I love the country of Mexico. Yeah. I cannot wait to see what movies are thematically in the same space as this film.
I have to admit, I had a hard time figuring out what to pull for this one. The tone is odd, so just bear with me, I guess is what I'm saying as we go through these, and we'll do what we can to make some connections. Let's go with the first film we have slated here.
Yeah, well, boy, doesn't this bring everything back around. Snatch, directed by our man Guy Ritchie.
What would you say connects this to The Mexican?
I mean, it's another MacGuffin-y crime movie with a very strong sense of style and absurdity to it, that has multiple storylines that kind of intersect. What I think... The thing about Snatch is that Snatch is very aggressive and in your face and trying to be the coolest, most extreme thing you've ever seen at every second, which, while it's certainly better than certain other Guy Ritchie movies, such as Operation Fortune Soup du Jour, it's it can exhaust you after a while, whereas The Mexican takes such a laid-back pace and actually invests in kind of real emotions and real feelings, as opposed to Snatch, which is kind of all about the plot every second, and the plot becomes almost incomprehensible as it goes on.
And it puts the plot, even as incomprehensible as it is, it puts it at the forefront rather than the characters, which is what I think The Mexican does so well. It is a spanning scope of a story generationally, but really we're telling it through the perspective of Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts, and we cannot deviate from that, and it's all the stronger for it.
Yeah. Snatch also has Brad Pitt. Snatch also involves a dog that is kind of like a central part of the movie.
True. Would The Mexican benefit from having Dennis Farina in it?
Well, yeah, every movie would benefit from having Dennis Farina in it, I mean, off the top of my head here, Andrew Warhol's Empire would benefit from having Dennis Farina in it.
Instead of that bird that flies by at hour 12, it's just Dennis Farina on a hang glider.
Yeah, he just hang glides by and is like, what the fuck is this movie? It's too long! I'd love that. Yeah, I do like, I do like having Dennis Farina. I think Dennis Farina is the strongest character in Snatch simply because he seems kind of as irritated by everything going on as I, the viewer, am. Like, okay, Guy Ritchie, I'm not in college anymore. Just chill. Just fucking chill. Can you just slow down? And Dennis Farina seems to be in the same headspace.
Well, let's keep moving on to the next film.
In Bruges, speaking of films I liked in college, and I'm still fairly up on. Yeah, this is Martin McDonagh's kind of breakout film.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say Colin Farrell's second breakout film. Like, this is career number 2 for Colin Farrell, starts here.
This was when I realized, I actually like Colin Farrell. He is amazing. He is very funny. He is good at delivering jokes in a very dry and rapid fire way.
Yeah, and so I pulled this one because it granted, this one leans a little bit more into the kind of gritty nature of crime and the kind of existential nature of crime and the darker underbelly of it, but it still balances that with humor and with I don't know, just irreverence that the Mexican kind of plays in that yard as well. This movie completely devoid of romance, but the Mexican has that over it.
Yeah. I mean, this is almost more of a bromance. I mean, it is really about the relationship between Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, and like
True.
the kind of like mentorship, father-son style relationship that the sense of obligation that they feel to each other.
And I guess, spoiler alert, if you're curious about or afraid of those sorts of things, but just like J.K. Simmons is asked to put a hit out on Brad Pitt, Brendan Gleeson is asked to put a hit out on Colin Farrell at one point. So I guess there is direct overlap.
Yeah, and like in many, there's almost, I'm starting to see just a genre of kind of absurd, dark comedy, hitman type movies where where one guy has to kill the other guy, and then eventually the boss comes to town to finish the job. I guess more spoiler alerts for In Bruges, but it's about the moments. It's about the dialogue.
It is.
It's about the experience.
It's about the friends we make along the way.
Yeah, but some of those friends aren't really that good of friends, who maybe you shouldn't be talking to.
Well, let's move on to the next film.
Grosse Point Blank. You know what? I've never seen this all the way through, and I feel like I am a lesser person for it.
It's a lot of fun, and not just because it is set right down the street from where I grew up. Well, not right down the street, but like not far from where I grew up.
That's pretty gross. Now, so, okay, this is another Hitman movie, right? He's going back to his high school reunion?
Yeah, what if a hitman had to go to his high school reunion to do a hit?
Oh, is he doing a hit on someone he actually went to high school with?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember exactly. But what this film does have is a hitman versus hitman, sort of situation where Dan Aykroyd is playing another hitman who is set out to hit John Cusack.
Okay.
So it just has all these kind of weird, cogs in the machine sort of style that the Mexican does as well.
Yeah. Croyd's in the machine, if you will.
I won't.
And I feel like I have been really down on movies about hitmen in the past because I feel like there are too many. There are too many.
There are way too many.
There are way too many. And of course, you've provided me already with just a few examples of like, okay, that movie about a hitman is good, but it's like every one of these, it's been like, what's bad is when there's a movie about a hitman that is like, isn't it cool that this guy murders people for a living? It's when it's like that is just sort of a setup for a deeper examination of character or the human condition. Then you can really do something with it.
I'm glad you said that because you're exactly right. You can take the hit out of the man, but you can't take the man out of the hit. No, I said that backwards. The Hitman movies that work are when it's focusing on the man part of Hitman, not the hit part of Hitman.
Yeah. It's not about look how cool all the killing is. It's like look at this person and what is his life.
What is the hitting doing to the man?
We've really broken that one down, haven't we?
I guess so. Let's move on to our next film.
Yes. Landen, planes, trains, and automobiles. Are you trying to just break my heart? Are you trying to make me cry right here on the mics? One of my all-time favorite films, one of the most important movies ever made by humans, one of the most perfect and flawless cinematic experiences.
I love this movie, and I picked it. I realize it's an unconventional choice for the fucking Mexican. But the reason I picked it was the kind of elusive, mystical air that connects the momentum of both of these movies, the kind of like luck or fate that's driving both of them to take them off course in order to make them discover something they didn't know they needed.
Yeah. It really does the same way that sort of fate is bringing, Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts together in that movie, or how fate is like leading Brad Pitt on this journey. It also seems like, it keeps leading Steve Martin back to John Candy. They're seated together on the flight. The the only like John Candy is driving by right when Steve Martin is getting punched by the guy at the airport. It's like again and again, it's like the universe brings them together so that they can fix each other in a sense.
And two things that came to mind. One, the line in The Mexican of when you're in love, when is enough enough? Never. I can see that being a line of dialogue between John Candy and Steve Martin in this movie.
when they're in that hotel room near the end and they're both getting drunk off the little liquor bottles, it's like, yeah. Hey, when you're in love, enough is never enough, or something like that.
But the other thing I was going to say is, and I hate to pose this situation to you, because we all love the Gandolfini, right? I mean, there's no complaints. He's the best thing ever. However, can you imagine a scenario in which a sliding doors moment happens where John Candy doesn't die and his career evolves a bit? I can see him playing the James Gandolfini character in The Mexican. Like, his career could have taken him there.
We had a moment of crosstalk before you started saying that, and the thing I was going to say was, wouldn't it be cool if John Candy didn't die and he played the James Gandolfini role in The Mexican? So that would be absolutely astounding, and I think he would bring the same kind of gravitas to it that James Gandolfini does. I would love to see John Candy dancing around a hotel room to Safety Dance with Julia Roberts.
Hell yes, cosign. So an unconventional pick, but let's move on to our final film that we have for The Mexican.
All right. The Out of Towners, finally one I haven't seen. This is so got some Jack Lemmon action here. A guy who I've never quite warmed up to. Tell me about the Out of Towners.
Interesting. Jack Lemmon is someone he's one of my all-time faves. Definitely love Jack Lemmon. I'm gonna admit though, I'm not a big fan of this movie. This is the aggrieved male put out of his element to like the extreme degree. They are out of town. It's just like, it's one of those like bad luck movies. Just one thing after another keeps happening to him. But he's not like a Ben Stiller type where you want, like Meet the Parents, where you want good for him. He's playing an asshole, and every time bad luck happens to him, he becomes more of an asshole, and I don't feel really any catharsis in seeing the bad luck happen to him because it just makes him act more like an asshole. It's
kind of like he's spending the whole movie in the scene of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles where Steve Martin is swearing at the lady at the rental car desk.
Yes, absolutely. And not just because we're looking at a still, which looks like it's a precursor to that scene.
I mean, the thing about Jack Lemmon's face is I can't tell if he's angry or he's just kind of confused.
But, I mean, for how much I despise his character in this, he plays it to a T, and I think it's, indicative of his, talent. Also, you have to call out Sandy Dennis, who's playing his wife in this, and, like, it's one of those things that I watch and just it gives me anxiety because I'm like, why are you married? Why are you married? Why wouldn't 1 second into this travesty of a movie would you not say, that's it for me, I'm done, I'm divorced, we're divorced, I'll see you later, goodbye? Like, I have to sit with this for, a good 90 minutes of watching the marriage disintegrate in front of my eyes.
It sounds like you're describing Hope Springs right now, but okay, but it's Hope Springs on the road.
This could easily have been, Tommy Lee Jones and Meryl Streep, an incident in their lives in the continuum of Hope Springs.
Oh, man, the Hope Springs cinematic universe just expands and expands.
But anyway, it's I picked this because it is about relationships. It is about that mystical bad luck that is affecting their lives. I say watch The Mexican over watching The Out of Towners. But if you are interested, this movie exists.
Yeah, if you're feeling like having a lemon party, it's right here.
Oh boy. All right, that's all I got for this week. I guess we will see you soon. For Truman Caps, I have been Landon Solano.
And for Landen Solano, I've been Truman Caps. Bye!
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpod to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit MovieMemoryMachine.com.